Joining me now is the UK's former Chief Immigration Officer in Calais and Dunkirk, Kevin Saunders. Kevin, thank you very much. I mean, yeah, so guided tours for the Eritreans and Ethiopians and Sudanese taking place in France. Remarkable, isn't it?
It is absolutely. Couldn't believe it when I heard the story originally. I thought it was, April the 1st almost. But you can see why they're doing it. They want to make sure that the migrants know exactly where to go, exactly where the boat's going to be, which will limit their time on the beach, and thus, hopefully, from their point of view, mean it's less chance of the French police jumping in and stopping them.
Yeah, but just like, hey, Kevin, I would have thought it might be quite easy to spot this fake guided tour of northern France because, I don't know, maybe they've always had a strong Sudanese tourist market, but I suspect not. And I can't help but wonder whether or not, 40 African lads following someone in high-vis down towards the sand dunes, especially given everything else we've got going on, might be quite a strong indicator that is indeed a fake tourist operation.
I agree with you completely, and I'm astonished that the French police aren't jumping all over this, because this would be so obvious, wouldn't it? You're taking them to where the boat's buried. So, yeah, well, I don't think I can ever be surprised anymore about what's going on.
I suppose the wider point here is, all right, we found out about this because of a court case, and so that by definition does mean that the French authorities have done something about it. I would have loved to have been there when the arrest was made, though. Have you got a tour guide pass? Have you got any credentials? I mean, that would have been absolutely hilarious. Asking them. It's got a little bit of a whiff of the Salisbury poisoning about it, hasn't it? Where the two Russian chaps who did it then came out and said, "Oh, we were just in Salisbury because we were there to see the wonderful church tower. That was why we were there." But overall, it cuts to the core, really, of if they feel as though they can operate with this level of impunity in France and take the mick, which is what they are doing, then it would imply the French police haven't been doing that much for very long, wouldn't it?
Well, that's another way of looking at it, Patrick. It would indicate that perhaps the French police have been drinking too much coffee and eating too many croissants and not being out on the roads actually seeing what is going on. Because, as you say, it's pretty obvious with the numbers that are involved that something is going on.
I just want to, I know that you might not have had a chance to have sight of this, but it's a story we're going to be covering more at 10 p.m. And the front page of tomorrow's Independent newspaper has landed, and on that they have a revelation that prosecutions for people smuggling and human trafficking appears to have dropped under this Labour government. So in the last year, there it is, abject failure as smuggling arrests fall under Labour. And that is an exclusive that they've got, and it says, on the day that small boat crossings soar to 50,000 and dozens more migrants attempt to reach Britain by sea, we reveal that the government is also failing with the gangs. That is a headline that I think, frankly, just blows up any notion that Sir Keir Starmer has got and Yvette Cooper have got of smashing the gangs, doesn't it? And it's in a left-wing newspaper.
Yes, and I'm really glad that the Independent have actually done this, because I've been saying for years that you will not be able to break the gangs. You can't do it. It's not going to happen. And now the Independent have actually got on board as well. Perhaps people might start to listen. These smuggling gangs that they're catching are either very, very lucky, or they're in the UK. And you can catch them in the UK because that's our jurisdiction. But even if we're there in France, and even if we're working closely with the French, at the end of the day, it's still up to the French. And I think the guy that was running the tourist business, what did he get, 2 years?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yes. That's the other aspect. That is the other aspect to it, the punishment for these people. So recently on this show, I've covered a bloke who was caught with an inflatable dinghy in the back of a van with petrol and a load of life jackets, travelling it to Gravelland, which is where a load of people take the boats from. He avoided jail. he was given a suspended sentence. So you caught someone red-handed supplying a boat for the purpose of illegal immigration, no punishment really. I think he might have got a small fine and politely asked to leave France. And then you've got now a bloke who's been running fake tourism operations in Calais, guiding people towards the boats. Again, slap on the wrist from the French authorities. Absolutely pathetic, isn't it? And look, like I said, we're going to get stuck more into that big revelation on the front of the Independent tomorrow, which is the arrest for human traffickers is dropped under Labour. I mean, that is devastating. It's also another demonstrable mistruth. So if you're going to be there standing in front of us and going, smash the gang, smash the gang, smash the gangs, you know that there are figures out there that prove that the opposite is true. I mean, it's horrific. But Kevin, look, thank you very much.